I didn't want anyone to ever feel the way that I did. I was at the lowest that you could possibly be. Right, one Tuesday morning, I'm gonna go sit on my local park bench with a rainbow umbrella. For anyone that feels alone, they can just come and talk to me.
Love that.
And then I remember the morning that I was sat there with said rainbow umbrella going, all these negative automatic thoughts, what are you doing? Everyone's gonna think it's a stupid idea, no one's gonna turn up. 11 people turned up on that first morning. It's okay not to be okay. And I think people have this misconception that all psychotherapists have got the shit together and they haven't. Just come for a chat. Literally have a cup of tea and some hobnobs and come and have a chat and we'll try and work things out. That's it.
So it's just a conversation between you and I?
Yeah.
Chance for me to get to know you and the business. So you're going to start off by introducing yourself and what the business does.
Okay, so I'm Amelia Peel, or Amelia Peel, depends whether I'm being told off or not. And I'm known as the girl with the rainbow umbrella, but my business is Stable Minds. So we set it up in January 2023, and we're a mental health organisation.
What does it do?
Okay, so we provide one-to-one sessions, we provide workshops, we provide outreach services, we work with children from age 3 to 18, and one of our other centres we work in adults. So we've got an adult walk-in centre and we also provide one-to-one counselling sessions.
Okay, so you're a counsellor or?
Yeah, I'm a psychotherapist myself.
Amazing, okay. Have you heard of, just digress slightly, have you heard of a psychotherapist called Stephen Gross?
No, so I'm based in Cheshire, so
okay.
I don't know whether...
So he's been a psychotherapist for so I studied psychology at universities.
Yeah. Cool.
He's a psychotherapist. He's released a book called The Examined Life.
Okay.
And he basically this first book was, he's gone through his 30 years of psychotherapy and he's picked out specific stories and then he's basically shown, it's about you can relate it back to parts of your life as well.
Okay,
so it's
so the theory into practice, so you can
exactly,
put it together.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's my favourite book. I've gone back to it so many times.
And I think that's really, it's really difficult, isn't it? Because anything to do with psychology, there's these big, long words that are dead hard to understand, whereas when you can relate back to something and understand it from a story form, then it really, really helps, doesn't it?
What made you want to go down the psychotherapy route opposed to other therapy routes?
I think it was something that, so I'd gone through my own trauma in 2017 and gone to see my own counsellor. I'd seen 2 counsellors before I saw the third, which was a psychotherapist that really helped me. It wasn't so much to do with credentials. I think it was just I went to do my counselling and then I went on to do my children and young people's, which then that's the added bit. So that's why I call myself a psychotherapist, but it's really blurred lines anyway. So you can call yourself whatever. It's just if I say I'm a counsellor, I get told about potholes and things in the ground, and it's yeah, not that type of counsellor.
I love that. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. So how long did you have to study?
So it was 6 years in total that I've done to do with children and young people's as well. Yeah. So as I started the business, it was literally just struggling.
Excuse me. Sorry, I don't suppose there's anywhere else.
Sorry, really struggle when it's someone else is shouting. What was the question again?
You studied for 6 years, you were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then?
Okay, yeah, so I studied for 6 years. It wasn't so much to go and become a psychotherapist. It was the fact that I just carried on with my children and young people's after my counselling. So it took 6. Yeah.
Amazing. So the business has been running for 6 years as well?
No, so it was founded in 2023. So during lockdown, after going through my own trauma in 2017, then lockdown came and I just started my level 2 in counselling. I didn't want anyone to ever feel the way that I did. I was at the lowest that you could possibly be. My husband and the family wouldn't be here. And I literally thought, right, one Tuesday morning, I'm going to go sit on my local park bench with a rainbow umbrella. For anyone that feels alone, they can just come and talk to me.
Love that.
Really random, but it was amazing. So the local newspaper covered it and I'd put a little bit on socials. And then I remember the morning that I was sat there with said rainbow umbrella going, all these negative automatic thoughts, what are you doing? Everyone's going to think it's a stupid idea. No one's going to turn up. 11 people turned up on that first morning.
Wow. So
it blew me away. And then we did it for Tuesday mornings moving forward. And then in January 2023, was the first centre that we opened, and it was just me to begin with, and then it's grew and grew and grew, and we just opened our third centre in January.
Amazing.
So yeah, thank God my husband's a builder, because otherwise we would have been it would have been really, really difficult.
And how many patients do you have?
God, we helped over 2,500 people. I've got 24 staff now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's hard work. And my role's changed quite a bit from being a psychotherapist to the founding role. But I miss those moments that you have with clients. So that's difficult.
Do you feel comfortable talking about what happened in 2017?
Yeah, we can do it a little bit. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, do you mind just explaining a little bit what happened? Because I think it really helps understand what shapes you now and what you're doing now.
Yeah, definitely. So in 2017, we lost the baby, and I got PTSD. And from the PTSD, I kind of see it as that once you go through a trauma, all the other smaller traumas that I kind of put to myself kind of shatter. So I was having flashbacks of all different things, and then more stuff was coming out. And I think not being a textbook and actually have lived that experience with PTSD is invaluable as a psychotherapist, because you can really understand and empathise with a client. Whereas if you haven't gone through trauma, I don't know whether you can. And I like to say, like, I'm not letting my trauma go to waste.
Yeah.
It happened kind of for a reason, to be able to help other people.
I think that's the thing with therapy. You can know things you can read things from a textbook, but until you've experienced some kind of trauma or something like that, it's really hard for you to be able to help someone and understand what someone's going through.
Yeah, well, you can't really, can you?
Yeah.
If you're coming from a textbook point of view, I don't think you can hold that safe space. So it's called Stable Mind, Your Safe Space. And what people kind of feel when they come in, we are very different in our organisation, the way that we don't make clients fit into a box. It is that we fit our service around each client. So if a client comes in and goes, "You know what, Mel, I don't feel like talking today. Okay, should we go for a walk in Tatton Park then?" Or it doesn't have to be 4 white walls. And I think this way that therapy is, perceived is that you're lying on a chaise longue, and it isn't like that. It's literally having a chat like this and us going through things, and give us all the stuff that you've got. Let's work it out together, and then go from there. It isn't as scary as what people think it is.
How do you obviously people are kind of offloading onto you. You naturally, you'll take that home with you.
Yeah.
How do you kind of leave that, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so I remember writing an assignment in uni, and it was, what are your strengths and weaknesses? And both of mine was advanced empathy, because I really feel for the client that I'm working with, or people in general. I mean, my husband always says, don't make eye contact with anyone if we go to Aldi, because I want everyone's life story. It's difficult and it's challenging. I use an analogy that in Stable Minds is a yellow dot above the eye, and it's the eye of a daisy. So it represents that, in the hours of darkness, Daisy's petals kind of go like that to look after itself. Well, if I'm giving one of my petals to one of my clients, to my kids, to my husband, to my friends, if I'm having a bit of a low day, I've got nothing to look after me. So it's all about self-care, and how can I get those petals back to look after me if I've got that dip, or if I'm taking stuff home. It's all about self-care and looking after myself, so I can be able to switch off from clients or other things that are going on in my life.
Do you have to take time out for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. It's an ongoing, it's challenging. I'm not great at sometimes recognising it. I'm getting better. I get a little bit narky, and it's hard, but it's noticing those moments.
From all the people that you've helped and spoken to through therapy, what have you learned about yourself?
It's okay not to be okay. And I think people have this misconception that all psychotherapists have got the shit together, and they haven't. It's just the fact that we can recognise that. And also that as I am, so I'm perfectly brilliant as I am. I don't have to change to be anything else. And it's okay to be vulnerable. It takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable and speak so openly about the things that you've gone through. And if that helps one person, then that's my job done.
Do you think people get lost in that a little bit though? Because obviously that quote of "it's okay not to be okay" is it's nice, and I'm glad that people might find comfort in that. But do you think some people find too much comfort in that, and they kind of just, it's fine, I'm okay to be like this, and they kind of just use that as their identity almost.
Yeah, kind of. I get that. So it's a double-edged sword. So then
Yeah.
I was with the client, we would look at the drama triangle and why they felt like they wanted to sit within that mentality, and then explore that. So there's all different ways to explore it. So yeah, 100% I get what you're saying. If it's for a day or two, definitely it's okay. But I suppose if it's longer periods, then that's when it's not, and that's when it's time to reach out and see someone.
Okay, interesting. Where do you see the business going in the next 5 years, and where are you hoping that it gets to?
So the plan is to go. So it's currently in Cheshire East. We are from January. We will be taking our outreach vehicles. So it's called Stable Minds because of my love for horses. Horses kept me here when I wasn't in the best place. And we are currently building a horse box that is a bespoke horse box that we can take to different places. My plan is to have a fleet of them basically and create safe spaces all over the country. I'd love to have the farm by Stable Minds, which will be Stable Minds farm that you can have therapy outdoors, and there'll be pygmy huts and teepees and lots of different animals there. But yeah, so it will be to have outreach vehicles up and down the country in the way that Stable Minds can shape the way that mental health is accessed and take down those barriers.
We're learning a lot about horses and herd dynamics at the
It's
moment.
amazing, yeah. They're just brilliant. They're just amazing animals to be around.
What's your experience been like with horses?
With horses, so I've always loved horses. I've had my own since I was 12. Show jumped all over the country. Absolutely brilliant at falling off. It happened a lot. And I just love being around them. I didn't like the pressure that came with jumping at a higher level. But what I do love is just being around them, and they just love you for who you are. They've got empathy. They can tell if you're having a bad day, and you're not having to put that mask up to the world that actually everything's okay when it's not.
Do you think there's is it a common reason why there's like such a high, it feels like there's a higher rate of like depression and anxiety among like younger people now?
Yeah, I think social media's got a lot to do with it. I think generational trauma has got loads to do with it as well. I think in particular, like with the younger ones that are coming through now, I think my generation as a whole, because we've lived through a lot, we've constantly got our heads in the phones. So I think then the little ones are suffering because we've not done a process and dealt with our own stuff. So we're actually taking our minds off things. So we're going onto phones or we're scrolling on social media. So then it's going to be feeding up. So that's a bit scary, isn't it? But yeah, I think social media's got a lot to do with it. COVID has got a lot to do with it, anxiety. So we've just got Manchester Airport have just paid for a grant for us to have a gaming suite. So we're doing counselling through Roblox and Minecraft, and being able to get a different sort of client that actually doesn't want to sit, but they might sit and play Roblox and sit next to the counsellor, or they can do it online first, and then the next step will be coming in if they haven't left the house for a while. We work with an array of clients. So it'd be clients that have got, low-level anxiety, depression, to all the way up to suicide idealisation. We've created a service that, yes, we refer on if needed, but 9 times out of 10 we work with GPs, schools, social services, fostering agencies to create that all-round care. So no matter what they're coming with to Stable Minds, there's someone here that can sit and support them, which I think is really, really important.
Kev and I both have a 3-year-old, not together,
Yeah.
but just,
They're basically yours.
yeah. It worries me a lot that they're going to grow up and they're going to suffer massively with depression, anxiety because of I'm always in front of my phone at the moment. I'm trying to make a conscious effort to leave it and not touch it. Is there anything that we could be doing more as parents? And it doesn't have to be with just obviously we can't get away from these devices. It's going to become more and more part of our lives as they grow older. But what can we be doing as parents to not necessarily protect them, but guide them in the right way?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the time it's one, not adapting them too much, as in let them be the people that they want to be. So ask them in a child-led way, what do you want to do today? Okay, Daddy's got X amount of time, what would you like to do? And go and do something with your daughter, did you say? Yeah, with your daughter.
Yeah.
So a very child-led approach. They're going to need to use socials and, ChatGPT and everything else that's going with it. That's the way that we're working. But there's also showing them to recognise, oh God, I've been on here for a while now, and teach them as well that, the reason the algorithm is the way that it is to keep you drawn in and be able to explain that to them. I think a lot more needs to be done in schools. So our children are actually home ed. They don't go to school. We took them out last year. For the reasons that I don't think they teach them what they need to in school anymore, unfortunately. So it's about being proactive and being able to talk to them about things that we weren't aware of growing up, because I think we were that generation that it has all changed, isn't it? Whereas we know now that actually, you want to stay on TikTok for hours scrolling or whatever it may be. Yeah. And it's not all real. It's like a tapestry. So you only see the best bits, don't you? You don't see all the shit that's going on behind. You only see the pretty bit at the front. And it's explaining that to her.
Do you think gentle parenting has a part to play in this? My mum beat me when I was a kid. Not beat me like that, but as in like if I was naughty or anything, like she wouldn't hesitate to discipline me. Yeah, proper.
Well, it depends what discipline looks like, doesn't it? To different people. So I think there's gentle parenting and there's setting boundaries. There's very different approaches, isn't there? I think everything's unique to the child. So I know that we've got a son and a daughter, and they say that no two children have got the same parents because they all experience life differently. So I know that, I can be a little bit harder, I suppose, on one than I can the other. Yeah. Is that right? Don't know whether that is or not, but it's about setting those boundaries in place, not letting them get away with things that they should or shouldn't, because your job as a parent, isn't it, is to set them up for life. Yeah. So yes, you've got to put those boundaries in place, and you can't be a yes person currently, but you can have yes days, or you can go and do things that are amazing. So I think there's a balance to be had there. I don't agree with hitting or anything like that, but I think there's a gentle balance of actually, come on, you need to listen now. Yeah. But they switch off. So as soon as your mum shouted at you or hit you, then you weren't taking anything in at that point anyway. And you're doing things out of fear, not because you want to do it. And it's, what do you want your daughter to have? Yeah. Going to go into a counselling session now, aren't we?
No, it's just it's interesting because obviously things have changed a lot.
Massively.
And obviously dads are around a lot more than they were before. Like,
you're teaching her, aren't you, what male figure to look like, to marry. Yeah. That's what we do with little girls, isn't it? Is look for, and I think if you can keep coming back to a place with, what does that look like for you? So if you could imagine her marrying a version of you, and if you're happy with that, and if you're not, then what can you tweak to make that so you would?
But I think about it a lot. Like, how can I be a better man so that my daughter knows that this is what you should look to.
Yeah. But the fact you're doing that already shows, doesn't it, that you're changing generations. Yeah.
Kind of back to the business, like what kind of impact are you hoping to have on the world with what you
impact on what, sorry?
What kind of impact are you hoping to have on the world?
I like that question. It's a good one. To make mental health accessible and less taboo. Just come for a chat. Literally have a cup of tea and some hobnobs and come and have a chat, and we'll try and work things out. That's it. It doesn't have to be this big thing. It can literally just be that who has 50 minutes a week where they can just come and talk. And it's unbiased. It's, have you thought about that? You could say something and go, let's look at it this way or that way. That's all that counselling is. So to bring that taboo down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, because there's this well, let's actually ask that. What are some common misconceptions with psychotherapy or therapy that people have?
I'm going to advise loads. I'm going to dig really deep into places that you don't want to go, whereas everything is client-led. So, you could come to me and do X, Y, and Z, and personally might not look at it like that, but I'll always sit and go, okay, have we thought about it this way? Or let's dig, is that your belief or is that someone else's belief? Or that doesn't really align with your values that I've heard before. Should we explore that? And that's all it is. It's kind of getting everything out and filing it where it needs to be. So have you seen the film Inside Out? It's so good, isn't it? It's amazing. Brilliant. So we use that all the time with children, like balancing their emotions and how hard it is to balance them all in one go. And also, that's all it is. So I see my PTSD as the fact that when I'm triggered, all the balls are rattling around in my head, and actually I just need to take a minute, bring myself down and then file them off to all the different islands. Makes it a lot less scary in mental health than if you look at it like that. And it's teaching people that, so I don't like roller coasters. So I know that when I go to step on a roller coaster, that fear's on my console and it's telling me that this is really scary and I'm going to die and all this. Whereas if I'm imagining a little Millie fear sat on top, it's not as bad. Still not going on it, but it's still bad.
And if someone watching this might have someone that they know is going through like a real difficult time, what can they do to help?
So, one, if they're going through depression, I would say that if you speak to anyone that's got depression, they're going to go, I'm okay, I don't need anything. They want to be a burden. So more questions like, I'm going to come round and I'll make us a brew. Or, do you know what, I've cooked an extra batch of cooking. I'll bring that round. Another one would be to reach out to, or help them, support them, reach out to a organisation or a counsellor. Stable Minds is pretty good plug. And we do online therapy as well as face-to-face. And with that, it is all about finding your right therapist. So if the first one doesn't work, I always say it's like a hairdresser. If you used to be a hairdresser, but if you go and have your hair cut somewhere and you're not keen on it, you'll go and try a different barber. It's the same with a counsellor or a psychotherapist. You just have to have that connection where you feel safe to explore these things that are going on for you. Try not to advise you should be doing this or you could be doing that. Sit and listen. Or don't sit. Have a cup of tea and some hobnobs. Because you don't always have to talk. Sometimes your presence is enough.
Love that. I've got Magic Mic. If I give you this Magic Mic, wherever you speak into it, the whole of society will be able to hear. What is your message to the world?
You are enough as you are.
Brilliant. Love it. Yeah. Sorted.
That is the title.
That's the title card, yeah.
Done.
Love that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. Yeah, the girl with the rainbow umbrella.